we're down here today at the North American Eagle shops. We're going to introduce everybody here who's working on this project.
John Higley, crew lead and mob master.
Sean Arnsfit, jet mechanic.
Keith Zengi, director of operations.
Ed Shadle, owner, driver, builder.
Ed's the madman. He's going to drive this thing. All right. Well, why don't you tell us how you all got started and how you ended up here with this machine?
Well, it started out back in 1954 when I built a soapbox derby racer, but that's kind of a long story. Back in the 80s, I started running at the Bonneville Salt Flats racing wheel-driven cars, which I still run. But then in the 90s, we got involved with the jet car project, the original car, which is all hand-built. And that kind of went by the wayside, so Keith Zengi and I got together and we decided it would be a good idea to build our own. And rather than build from the frame-up unit, we decided that an F-104 Starfighter, being a 1,600-mile-an-hour aircraft, ought to be able to do 800 miles an hour on land. So that's kind of the basis that we started from. And so that's been 4 years since we actually bought this surplus F-104. It was really quite a junkyard dog, and started building it, and this is where we are today.
The question is, why Landspeed Records? I mean, it's kind of an obscure, it's not really obscure, but to the general public, it's kind of an obscure form of racing.
Well, you know how when you're in at the drags and you go through first, second, third, and fourth gear, and it's over in a few seconds. A lot of Bonneville, by the time you get to the quarter mile, you're just shifting into second gear. And it's really a kick sitting on it, clear to the 7 mile.
Right.
I mean, it's just wild. You're running in the mid 200s, maybe 300 miles an hour. With your engine wound tight, it's a real thrill.
So the rush lasts a little bit longer than 4 or 5 seconds, like in top fuel.
Yeah, the only sad part is when you get to the other end, it takes a long time for your push car to catch you. So if you've done something really exciting, you just get to sit there all by yourself and kind of dwell on it.
So, well, obviously this is a jet. Tell us a little bit about the engine and what it's capable of and all that.
Well, it's a J79-11B, which was indigenous to the F-104 Starfighter. It could propel this thing up to about 1,600 miles an hour. So it made plenty of thrust, about the equivalent to around 38,000 horsepower. And it runs on jet fuel. With the afterburner and all that, it consumes about 40 gallons a minute. So it generates quite a lot of thrust, and it'll accelerate this vehicle, estimated to about 835 miles an hour in about 4 miles at full afterburner.
Wow. That's fast. And you're going to drive it. Can't be harder than driving your car, right?
No, it's all a blur past about 200 anyways.
I noticed, I was looking in that cockpit, I guess, and I noticed that it still has a stick in it. Are you going to drive it with the stick, or are you going to drive it with a steering wheel?
Well, we use the stick for steering, but it's attached to a hydraulic system for steering. So it's much like in an aircraft. You bank to the right. Just go ahead and move the stick to the right, move the stick to the left to go to the left. We won't have any fore and aft, obviously, but the throttle's on the left. Typical configuration in an aircraft.
Well, obviously it doesn't run on its old wheels anymore. It's got some new kind of running gear. Maybe we should go on back to the back there and take a look at the wheels. You can tell us a little bit about those.
We'll have Keith demonstrate not only the wheels but our new braking system. I think this will just amaze you.
All right, Keith, why don't you tell us a little bit about the wheels here?
Okay. These, what we found is that when you go about 800 miles an hour, there's no tires that you can go down to your local tire dealer and buy, because literally the rubber would come off of the rims. So we eliminate that problem with the tires and wheels by getting rid of the rubber. And so we have a wheel here that's made out of 70-75 solid billet aluminum. And you can see it's quite heavy. We have these machined by Eagle Machine up in Abbotsford, Canada. And we've done a lot of design work with this. We've used FEA, which stands for Finite Element Analysis. And we actually put this in a computer and do the analysis on the shape. We've actually tested this it's good to about 1,000 miles an hour. And we also know the life cycle of this. This has a life cycle of 40,000 revolutions. And so what we can do is put a pickup in the wheel And with our onboard computer system, we can actually monitor our life cycle of the wheels when we start doing test runs. And when we reach 40,000 revolutions, we'll know it's time to do a preventive maintenance on this car and take the wheels off, put them in a museum or something, and put a new set on. But these here are good to, like I say, about 1,000 miles an hour, which would be plenty of a safety factor for the record that we're going to try to go. It's unique that we have the bearings inside here will heat up, so we actually cool those down. And we'll have a free flow flood system that the coolant will be going through the bearing systems while we're under speed to keep the temperature down. Now, one of the unique things is when you get a wheel, something like this, that weighs about 100 pounds, spinning at 800 miles an hour, you've built up a lot of kinetic energy. And so one of the things that Ed and I and the rest of the team have been trying to figure out how to dissipate this energy was, how are we going to slow this car down? The car is moving along at about 1 mile every 4 seconds. So it's eating up a lot of real estate. It actually takes about 6 miles to stop this car. And so one of the things in the beginning, we were going to use conventional disc brakes to stop the car. But we ran into a company in Port Angeles called Magnaforce. And they use magnets on a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm going to demonstrate this to you right now. This little magnet here, which is a little bit bigger than a pack of cigarettes, is actually very, very dangerous. It'll exert about 2,000 pounds of downforce if we were to put it up to steel. So literally, this would be like taking a block of concrete. If you were to get your finger between this and a piece of steel, it would really smash it or sever your finger from your hand if you were to, not be careful with it.
I'll let you handle it then.
Yes, that's a good idea. In fact, we have a special container we keep this in so that kids and people don't mistake it because it is very dangerous. But what we're going to do here, now I can't explain to you how this works. So maybe another show you can go up and visit folks up at Magnaforce and they can explain the scientific science behind it. But as we run it across the wheel, now most people think magnets are only attracted to steel, like we thought. But as you can see here, I can actually use this magnet to move the wheel. Now, what we're going to do is do just the opposite.
Right.
We're going to take a wheel that's spinning at 800 miles an hour. We're going to take these magnets and attach it to a mechanical device. We're going to use it to dissipate that kinetic energy. See, and we didn't touch it,
Right.
and that's the beauty of this system is we don't have to worry about wearing out our brakes.
Or what about heat?
This thing generates a lot of heat.
Oh, okay.
But the nice thing about aluminum is it'll absorb a lot of heat and dissipate a lot of heat. But it does generate a lot of heat. So you can imagine, and another nice thing is when it's standing still, there's very little, it doesn't do anything. But the faster it goes, the more efficient it becomes. So it's really the ideal. I mean, if you do this, right now, at this speed right now, it's probably generating about 25 pounds of downforce on my hands. And you can imagine when this thing is going 800 miles an hour, I mean, it'll be several thousand pounds of downforce. But you can see right there how fast it stopped it.
Yeah. Wow.
And so what we'll do is we'll have these on both sides of the car in the back, and then in the front we'll have our conventional disc brakes to actually slow the car to stop below 100 miles an hour.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for explaining that.
Well, very good, Mike.
Some pretty neat stuff.
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, thank you for letting us come out, and we had a good time.
Great. Well, thank you for coming out. I really appreciate it.